Here. Oh, that one was a mess. Oh my God, it's all over my keyboard. Is that what Stone Cold felt like? Popping beers. Oh my God, bro, I got bang all over me. That went better in my head than how I executed it. What's up, guys? Happy Monday, February 8th, 2021. We are one step closer to the baseball season. What do we got? 20 days? 19 days? Spring training? Bro, what a waste of bang. What a waste of bang. How we doing, chat? Solid picks. Dez, Justin Jennings. Solid picks. His gun. I had the bag on Mahomes. Oh, no. So where did Raj? We'll make fun of Raj for it, too. What up, Haz? Haz, I saw you came back to the Discord yesterday. Welcome back. Sway McThunder. The theme music, the fully loaded gun. Here comes. So I hit play on this playlist I have to go get this bang. I come back. One a song I recognize. So I'm hoping this video doesn't get smacked for copyright. What's up, Pete? Number one rule number one, never bet against Tom Brady. I can only imagine what it's like to lose to Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. If you're a fan of a team that's lost to Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. I'm not. Suckers. Eli Manning got a pair of MVPs on that bump. No, I'm just kidding. Congrats, Tommy. Going with the black cherry vanilla bang on deck. You already know. What's up? Win big or play again. Just joined the site after a 5-day win streak watching you. Appreciate that. Hope you like what you see. If you have any questions, message me. Tall to God in the chat. Quan. Solo. This music that Gronk was partying to last night. Yeah, banged all over. It's like, gosh darn it. Earth to air in here. All right, let's make fun of Raj. Here.
Yo.
Bro, I don't know if you didn't catch the intro, but I went to pop the bang in the mic so you can get that, and the sucker exploded. I got some bang in my eye.
You had that coming.
What do you mean I had that coming? Excuse me?
You decided to open and drink near the mic. It's gonna happen.
I was just trying to have some audio cues, some crispy audio.
Yeah, well, it's like the weekend you could have used some crispy audio last night.
Okay.
Failed performance.
Chat, can I just say?
The guy was literally standing around in front of fancy sets and singing. Like he just has no showmanship skills. Very little at best. He's just not a performer.
Literally the worst take you've ever had. I couldn't have been more proud. I couldn't have enjoyed it more. I thought that was one of the best performances of the year. Like, that was amazing to me.
What was impressive about that performance?
Everything. Literally everything. What do you mean? First of all, if you just see the man's face, we're talking about the weekend. For some reason, this bum, this jealous hater.
He's literally born in my city, so
that means I can hate on him. We were born in the same city. Go
watch Beyonce's performance.
No,
okay, and look at his, and you see the difference. There's levels to it.
Okay, first of all, you are the toxic mentality type of person that I hate. When it comes, shut up. Can I talk? It's my turn to talk. No, man. I don't watch it. I don't watch performances. I don't watch TV. I don't watch wrestling. Wrestling is where it's the worst. I don't watch this stuff to critique it and say, could have been better. Blah, blah, blah. No, it's effing art. Last night, The Weeknd was doing what he has dreamed to do since a child in front of more eyes than anyone than anyone's ever had on him at the same time. Like, just think about how many people across the entire planet during this pandemic was able to just escape and watch this man entertain and just sing his bangers, man. That performance was.
He has bangers. He has good tunes.
What are you hating on? Why are we hating on him?
I'm not hating.
You're hating. You're a hater. Hater in the house.
A great performer. Okay, so the standard as a great performer is Michael Jackson. That's greatness. Okay, then from there you go.
And you didn't see a bit of MJ in his attire. Right. They owed it to Thriller on the Super Bowl football field.
He can't move like MJ. He doesn't have that showmanship skill like MJ.
I ain't trying to. You're an effing hater.
Fancy sets at singing. No, he's a good singer. He stands front of sets singing. He has no performance skills.
You're a hater.
He can't do it like Usher, like Beyonce, like Rihanna. He's not a Super Bowl level.
Why?
It's like Adele. You don't do that on the Super Bowl. You're a great singer. Yeah, Adele, Whitney Houston are great
great.
singers. Are they going to come to the Super Bowl?
It was
No.
great. It already has 10 million views on YouTube. Chat, if you haven't seen it, it was fantastic. Go check it out. I loved it.
You think that was better than Beyonce's?
The building. It was. You like to rank every performance you see, bro. Shut the F up and enjoy it. Enjoy the art that's being thrown at you. It doesn't have to be a competition, bro.
It was a bunch of It was just a bunch of fancy sets. Like he just has no showman skills, and that's fine. He's not that type of performer. That's cool. It was just weak Super Bowl halftime performance.
This guy.
That's it. But good for you, Weeknd.
He did his thing. No, Weeknd did his thing. Never need a hater. I'm what a hater need.
I'm just speaking fast.
Rod's a hater. What's up, G-Man? Who did I miss? Richard. Yeah, haters, bro. He killed it. Crushed it. Every year. Every year, the Super Bowl's the same. The game sucks. Halftime show could have been better. Yo, like, people, do something with your life. Effing enjoy it.
That was a great. J-Lo and Shakira had a great Super Bowl performance.
Yeah, Beyonce, because you're a sexist pig and you saw half-naked shit. That's all it is. Anyway, chat. We've got basketball on the docket tonight. We got key news tweeted by Fantasy Labs every day at 3 p.m. Chris Paul, questionable. Jamal Murray, questionable. D'Angelo Russell, questionable. The big cat, Ernie Ladd, doubtful. He's getting close. LeBron James, probable. Alex Caruso, questionable. Eric Pascal, questionable. And we know that Anthony Davis ruled out. We know John Wall ruled out. Eric Gordon out. Westbrook out. A lot of decent to high usage guys out. Devontae Graham out. So this slate's going to have a couple of teams to kind of pick up the slack in terms of minutes usage and guys that haven't been priced accordingly. And it'll be fun to kind of navigate, sift through the options on each team. This is a slate that locks at 7 p.m. Eastern. There's only one game on that first hour island, so kind of keep that in mind if you're crunching in a jam late. Otherwise, we'll have some fun here. Let's get caught up. I don't want to restart the fire, but I'm going to get caught up because you guys deserve to be read. The weekend's in the conversation of what the weekend might be the most I don't want to say underrated, but how many people watched the Super Bowl yesterday and recognized and sung half of the songs, if not more, and be like, "Oh, that's all the same guy. Oh, this guy is great."
He's up there. Great songs. He has great songs. No one's denying that. He's just not that live performer, and that's fine.
Why didn't they book anyone else? Yeah, I saw the Giannis Antetokounmpo joke solo.
Yeah, it's about
it was great.
Rihanna said no. That's the thing. They asked Rihanna. She said no.
I love the whole he stuck it to the Grammys story, man. That's amazing. And I guess that was the dimensions to the dancers with the bandages across their face. Is that the Grammys is meant for like fake, artificially sculpted people, and here he is. I guarantee you, more people watch that performance than will watch the Grammys in the next 5 years, bro. It was beautiful. It was huge. Anyway, let's get started.
I also think half the crowd won't like the Weeknd music. I mean, Middle America is very country oriented. So
I definitely disagree, but who cares? 10 million views. 10 million views. The thumbs up's getting ratioed. The comments. You read the comments on YouTube. It's usually very, very toxic. Jesus is and isn't real debates, political debates. The comments on that video is just like all love. So people like you are in the huge minority.
17-year-old kids who just like a song. I can critique. So I could like someone's song and say they had a bad performance.
No critique. Like I just don't like that mindset. I don't like the mindset of critiquing art. You can critique sports. Hey, this guy made a mistake here or there. The art, when it's someone is doing their song, their dance, their art. It is not my business to say, oh, you could have done this instead. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy it and enjoy the show. Game number 1 tonight, chat. Houston Rockets at the Charlotte Hornets. Projected starting 5 for the Rockets. Victor Oladipo, David Nwaba, maybe. Could be Sterling Brown, Jayshawn Tate, PJ Tucker, and DeMarcus Boogie Cousins taking on LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, PJ Washington, Cody Zeller. We got a 219.5 total. 1.5 3.5 point spread in favor of the visiting Rockets. As we alluded to just a bit ago, Rockets going to be without John Wall, Christian Wood, Eric Gordon. So those are three of their bigger offensive pieces, and it's going to create another big time spot for, first of all, DeMarcus Cousins. There's a checklist for Boogie right now. Is Christian Wood out? If yes, play DeMarcus Cousins. He's only 6K on FanDuel against the Charlotte Hornets front court. Yeah, give me some of that. Defensive rebound rate for the Hornets, 75%. This is a massive smash matchup for DeMarcus Cousins. I definitely can't see less than 40 fantasy points here. My solid projections have it at 46.4 DKP, 46.4 FDP. So I'm all about DeMarcus Cousins today. I would anticipate him being easily the highest owned center on FanDuel, probably both sites. Victor Oladipo introduced into the conversation, 8K. I'm looking for 40 plus. I got him right there at 45, 46 on both sides. As we get past those two, the secondary players, the supplementary players on the Rockets, a little bit tougher to predict. You can see a range of outcomes for a McLemore, Sterling Brown, David Nwaba, guys like that. I think my front end knee-jerk reaction is to just kind of be careful with those guys. If I don't get them, I don't get them. But give me the Boogie. On the Hornets side, without Devontae Graham, all the minutes you can handle for LaMelo Ball, I got him at 36 minutes. Terry Rozier's up there as well. LaMelo's moved his way up to 7.8, 8.3K, but that just might be the price that he deserves to be, especially considering the role he'll have today. I think 40-plus fantasy points in the wheelhouse. We've seen it. He's a triple-double threat. This game is a 219 total. I'll have LaMelo. I'll probably start him as a tier 3 and work from there. And then Gordon Hayward, Terry Rozier are also guys that I think could get there at their individual price points. That front court for the Hornets, I'm probably staying away. PJ Washington back in the mix. We saw Miles Bridges fill in during his absence, and his price has moved up to 5 and 5.6K. So I'm really not too enamored with the Hornets, but I will have a tier 3 start on Ball and Hayward. Rozier's not a guy I have the warm and fuzzies on, but I might throw him in the mix here. Rockets, since the Harden trade have been a solid defense and have been a solid perimeter defense, but you got to believe a lot of that could be out of the game today with Wall and Wood down. I never really over-respect Eric Gordon here. Raj, what do you do with this game? Is this self-explanatory? We locking in Boogie, we'll have some Depot and Melo, we move on, or are you in love with one of these Rockets guys not named Depot or Boogie?
Okay, yeah, so Boogie's definitely the lock. You want some Depot, should have a ton of usage here. The guy who's been winning tournaments when Eric Gordon's out and John Wall's and one of John Wall or Victor Oladipo out, Sterling Brown. He's just like he's a chucker, you know. He goes on the court, go to chuck. He's 3,500 in the 100K to first type of tournaments that DK and FanDuel are running today. I'm going to have some of him. I guess David Nwamba's 4,100. It's the Charlotte Hornets. I think he could, if as a value guy, I don't hate him. So him and Sterling Brown as value, I don't hate. Wouldn't play them together, just 1v1. LaMelo Ball, 8-3, that price tag on DraftKings definitely up there. Deserved, playing well, is a spot. I'll have some of him. With that Chris Paul news coming out too, we have the Chicago-Washington game. I'm going to be maybe a tad lower on him than some other guys, but I'll have him. I just don't think he's a tier 1 play just because of the way the slate's breaking down.
Right. Looking at the live chat here, win big or play. Where do I get the list? I bought Run DFS. So if you subscribe to Run DFS, and I saw some yesterday, when you log into RunDFS.com, just click forums at the top, scroll down, and click VIP threads, and you'll see a 2021 onboarding thread. You click that. There's a couple links. There's a link to the Discord and a link to the RunDFS.com NBA VIP spreadsheet. Dad says, yo, Boogie might smack LaMelo today if he comes in the hole. Okay, clip it. Where's Damron? He's going to clip that last sentence. What is up, Gun? The Knicks got Rose again. Yeah, Derrick Rose back to New York. It cost him Dennis Smith.
Dennis Smith, yeah. I feel like that's a unnecessary piece to give up. But
they also got a pick, which I thought was even extra. But I love Derrick Rose. So I don't know. Tom Thibodeau is really everywhere Thibodeau goes. He tries to put together the Bulls, man. I swear. Freaking Taj Gibson.
Where's Joakim Noah?
I'm telling you, Noah is gonna get called up one of these days. Yeah. And Luol Deng is like, "Can I play? How does this work?" Yeah. It is almost Valentine's Day. Tibbs got his rose. Aw, that's good. That's good. Tate is the play with Cousins. So Jayshawn Tate's probably the first man up on the Rockets that I would trust a little bit. I do have him 24 fantasy points on either site. But he is somebody I would trust a little bit more than any of these secondary plays. But I definitely, I'm not locking him or jamming him in by any stretch of the imagination. LaMelo is a top play. The only reason he didn't get 50, they were playing garbage time for 5 minutes. I definitely like. I don't have any argument against Melo anymore. Maybe the field's skittish on this price point, but there's a reason he's his price point. He is, he's doing it all. Like he's Malcolm Brogdon, he's baby Westy, right? He's triple double threat legitimately. But AK, we definitely need the 40 plus, but that's certainly a range of outcomes for him. What's up, Adam Shockley? You like Daniel House for value tonight? Not especially, right? We play him, but he's just like Jayshawn Tate. We coin flipping him. He's basically 5K on FanDuel, 4,400 on DraftKings. Got to start me off at 25 fantasy points to feel like I have an impact player in tournaments. He can absolutely get there. The Hornets are a team to pick on. The Hornets also suffer by giving up a lot of points via the three ball here. So PJ Tucker can shoot some threes. You usually want somebody to kind of create a shot for him. I'm not going to go crazy with Tucker. Tucker's a guy I'll play like 1% of the season, but this is actually a matchup I wouldn't be shocked if Tucker got off on, right? Hornets, poorest defense, rebound-wise, and drain a three here and there, but not something I'm going to go crazy with. Let's move on to the next game here. Washington Wizards at the Chicago Bulls. Reminder, this game's on an island, an hour by itself, Hornets and Rockets. So if you do have some exposure to this game and some of your higher pieces are just tanking, you can go back and make those lineups a little bit crazier to kind of help you out in tournaments. Wizards at the Bulls. Project starting 5-4. The Wizards, Ish Smith, Bradley Beal, Danny Advia, Rui Hachimura, Alex Len taking on Kobe White, Zach LaVine, Denzel Valentine, Patrick Williams, Daniel Gafford. We got 236.5 total, a 4-point spread here in favor of the home team Chicago Bulls. This game seems very, very stackable. First of all, Bradley Beal's 9K on DraftKings without Russell Westbrook against the Chicago Bulls. That is what you want. First of all, Chicago Bulls run the third fastest pace in all of basketball, and defensive rating, well, they're bad at that too. Bottom 6 defensive rating, 113 points per 100 possessions. That's what you want. Bradley Beal is going to pick up a lot of the usage, a lot of the scoring, and at 9K, I don't really see many ways he's not going to push 50 plus fantasy points. My saw projections put him at over 50 fantasy points on each site, so I'm a buyer on that. Now let's talk about Alex Len. Let's have a conversation. Alex Len's had a couple of games in the last few Wizards games where he's had 24 and 27 minutes played, and then it was sandwiched in 8 minutes played against Charlotte and 8 minutes played against Portland.
I got both those 8-minute games and none of those 20 in between. I literally been playing Alex Len and I caught both of them. It's so tilting. He got benched in both those games in the second half for other centers. Like, I just don't know what happened.
Yeah, so if they got to spin the wheel, make a deal, carousel of Alex Len, Mo Wagner, whatever. I still think at 4,300 on DraftKings, I have half of mine to take a shot of a big man against the center of the Bulls, of course, offering a lot of fantasy points to big men. But yikes. No warm and fuzzies there. Ish Smith is in the mix, but Raul Neto's back as well. Earlier this season, we've seen Neto start over Ish Smith. Is that a possibility today? Are they babying Neto going forward? No matter what, it is a super plus matchup for opposing guards. If we go check out that team DVP chart in the RunDFS.com NBA VIP spreadsheet, Chicago Bulls allowing the third most fantasy points per game to opposing point guards. Washington Wizards allowing the most. So I wouldn't be able to have a high level of confidence on an Ish or a Neto or anything like that. We're just taking Bradley Beal and the rest of the rosters. We're just taking darts on. But I think there's plenty of implied points here, 236.5 for someone other than Bradley Beal, maybe even two players other than Bradley Beal to kind of get there for you. Davis Bertans, one of these days he's going to do it on the Bulls side. Kobe White, 5'6", 6'4" on both sides. We just looked at that DVP chart. He's in a great spot. Zach LaVine, though, he's the guy for me. 35 minutes. This could be a game where Bill versus LaVine both have 40-plus real points, and they're just going back and forth. I thought it was interesting after Larry Markkinen went down. I was like, Zach LaVine was going bananas earlier this season. It did coincide with Markkinen going down. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get back on the LaVine train. It absolutely came through, but That was the night that the Magic, the night 2 of the back-to-back, the Magic ended up getting stomped. So just to see if we can put some validity to these claims, let's go to the on-off court tool at Fantasy Labs. Let's take Larry Markkinen off. Let's take off Wendell Carter Jr. as well. And let's just put Zach LaVine on and kind of see what the numbers say, if the numbers agree or disagree. So LaVine has a 33.3% usage rate and 210 minutes of sample size without Markkinen or Wendell Carter, and 1.2 fantasy point per minute. So just for comparison's sake, let's go compare him to what Beal's coming into this game with. So let's go take Westbrook off. Let's take Thomas Bryant off. I'm not going to sit here and take off every inactive Wizard, but those are two higher usage ones. Let's put Bradley Beal on. And Bradley Beal has a 41% usage rate with 1.1 fantasy point per minute. Almost the same sample size on minutes. So the usage rate's higher for Beal, but the fantasy production is actually higher here for Zach LaVine. There's no reason not to love Beal versus LaVine in lineups, right? Such a positive correlation, and you can sit back and just watch these two kind of go off and what should be a defense-free game. Pass Beal, pass LaVine. What are you doing here? Thad Young has moved to 7K. He's still, I believe, a center only on FanDuel after being a free power forward for the longest. Is there anyone past those two that you're going to have to find a room for in your lineups? Patrick Williams, Kobe White kind of are waving at me. What are you doing with this game?
Yeah, I mean, I think Chicago, you can stack almost all these guys. You mentioned Zach LaVine, usage, points per minute, lock him in there. Patrick Williams has been playing great recently. He did get the price up at 5-1, so he might not be as popular, but coming off a back-to-back 30-plus games, and now he gets Washington, give me some of that. Denzel Valentine's 4-8, coming off a good game. Again, you should see the minutes here. 20 real-life points is not a question. Even, I mean, it could be Garrett Temple's turn this game. I wouldn't be shocked if Garrett Temple gives you the Denzel Valentine game. Maybe Denzel flops this game. Don't hate that. You mentioned Thaddeus Young. Price is there. He's playing fine. I mean, in 150 laps, I get to him. In 20, I might not. It's just tough power forward and center spot. There's a couple of center we'll talk about next game I'm going to lock in. Washington side, I mean, Neto's 3K. If you really want a 3K punt, I don't hate Neto against Chicago, playing maybe 20 minutes. He can get there for you. You mentioned Bradley Beal. Give me all the Bradley Beal. Whenever, just play him whenever Westbrook's out. Just don't overthink it. Get him in the pool. Want to lock him in? That's great. Just play him. Other than that, I'm not getting to any Alex Len, any of their setters today. They just kind of change it up there. It's just Bradley Beal and Neto for me at 3K.
You like Neto more than Ish Smith?
Ish Smith is 5K.
I mean, sure. But
it's a price.
Okay, all right. I say so. Neto for me, whenever Neto was like chalk, and if it came out that he was a starter, I love Neto chalk day because it's usually bad chalk. He had those 40 bombs, but he's usually not that efficient for fantasy. But I guess at this price point in this matchup,
it just helps me get like other guys, but another maybe a Bradley Beal. I mean, a Bradley Beal, a DeRozan, a Booker. If Chris Paul's out, playing Neto just gets you another stud. On
FanDuel, I think the Bulls could hit value. I think Kobe White 5'6" could hit value as LaVine hits value, as 4.4 Denzel Valentine hits value, and as Patrick Williams hits value. And I do like the thought of Patrick Williams here. The minutes should stretch a little bit longer. No Otto Porter, no Larry Markkinen, and he's got some bigger duties here in the front court to pick up some more boards and whatnot. So I actually think I'm not going to put 4 Bulls in my lineup. That just seems like you're spiting yourself. But I think if I had some lineups that had 3 Bulls, like in my 100, 150, I don't think that's crazy. And I just love the thought of LaVine versus Bill. So Bulls definitely a team I'm going to be targeting quite a bit tonight. I think Thad Young, it's expendable on FanDuel. I can't really see myself saying, all right, I need Thad Young over the Boogie in a lineup here.
You know what with LaVine, at his 8-9 price, right, on DK, we have Devin Booker is 7-4 without Chris Paul possibly. You're going Booker there, I'd assume, all day, every day, points per dollar?
I don't think I am. I don't think I am.
Against Cleveland, too? Wow. Okay.
I mean, Cleveland is going to be way slower, right? The pressure to score is going to be. I don't get me wrong, Booker's a fine play. Yeah. But the matchup for LaVine, I mean, literally.
It's great. The matchup, everything pops off. It's just there's other guys I just think in spots today too.
Yes.
He's gonna be the pool. Is he tier like he? I want to say he's tier 1, but I might at the end of the day
logistically that's not possible because if you're definitely tier 1ing Bradley Beal on DraftKings, right? There's no ifs, ands, or but. You're more than likely going to tier 1 DeMarcus Cousins, somebody like that. I don't know. Devin Booker probably does not fall into a tier 1 just because of the way the slate shakes out. So like the thought of Devin Booker is fine, but the matchup, the pace, the total, everything points towards this game versus that game. I mean, we'll peek at it in a second, but we'll go to the pace tab. Cleveland has a bottom 5 pace. The Phoenix Suns bottom 4. Like these are 2 of the bottom 5 slowest teams in basketball. Cleveland's offensive efficiency is super bad. There's still a chance that they're the worst offensive. The Cavs are the worst offense team in basketball, so there's still a chance that the Suns could handle up on them. So I just don't see the pressure, the sense of urgency that would be there for 4 quarters. I mean, yes, no, don't get me wrong, I get it, but I would go matchup and upside, and I think that goes to these two, Beal and Levine, a little bit more. But that's not to say books are bad to play. Let's go look at the live chat here. Get caught up. Sway McDunder says, Valentine, if he gets to start again, I do like that. Dez says, Zeller got like 30 points against Washington at the center spot yesterday. I love Thad Young. Definitely love Thad Young's propensity to get 30-plus fantasy points, but he needs that 7K. He needs 40-plus. And I don't really see myself on FanDuel prioritizing the 7K Thad Young over DeMarcus Cousins for cheaper. Like, if they scored the same, DeMarcus Cousins is a better play, and DeMarcus Cousins, with all those people out against the Charlotte Hornets front court, could do just fine, 40-plus fantasy points.
Coming off a bit of a down game.
It's crazy that he hit value, and it's a down game. Like, that's wild. People were literally upset that, like, 5K Boogie got him 34. I'm just like, what? Hello? Yeah. Like, that's...
I wanted 50.
Yeah, I get it. But if you had Boogie over Vooch that day, which 50% of the field did, you were fine. Like, it was the play. Anyway, see what else you guys got here. Thomas Satoransky revenge game. Chris Boucher's a lock. ATC. G-Man, Thad Young is consistent but might not be able to afford when you go cheap percentage tonight. I agree. Like, you need 40 out of Thad Young, so it is what it is. Pete says, could Booker replicate his 11 assists? Very possible. Dean says, Raymond Felton could honestly hit 7 and 8. Is Raymond Felton in the league? Am I sleeping? What? Unless he just meant that game. All right, Dean. Yo, Dean, did you have to retire off of Twitter? I thought I saw something like that.
Because he lost. Oh, yeah, because Mahomes lost. I feel you, AD. I was hurt too.
So, Tom Brady had to go through Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes.
He just finds a way. Like, I know his defense plays great, but he legit just finds a way.
And Raj, every week, wanted to bet against Tom Brady, man. He went nuts for Aaron Rodgers. Bro. You need
I've been betting against Brady in almost... Well, his past 4 Super Bowl wins, I betted against him in all of them. No. I bet for him against the Rams, but every other one, yeah. And the other one I bet for him was against the Eagles, the one he lost. So I have not run good with Brady.
You just don't run good at all. You are the cooler. Raptors at the Memphis Grizzlies project starting 5 for the Raptors. Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, Norman Powell, Pascal Siakam, and Aaron Baines taking on John Morant, Dylan Brooks, Kyle. The Andersons got tickets to the game. How'd they get tickets? Xavier Tillman, Jonas Valanciunas, 2-2-2, and another one. 2 is our total 2-point spread. And speeding in favor of the Raptors. Memphis Grizzlies have a couple people out today. Brandon Clark added to the laundry list of guys like Jaren Jackson and guys that are already out. Anthony Melton's out as well. Kyle Anderson against the Raptors? I don't know, maybe. It's going to be hard to love any of the Raptors specifically, even with a couple extra guys on the out list. I do have just one player projected over 30 minutes. It's John Morant. John Morant, why can't I quit you? It just, it's been so stressful. And he's 7'2", 7'5". I don't really see myself getting to him today, but it would be the minute I get up from the slot machine, walk away, go get myself a drink, and I look over, some old lady sat down just clicking names, put John Morant in her lineup, and it just starts spitting out quarters, and I'm going to be salty, but I don't really have a high priority on these Grizzlies player pre-flop. On the Raptor side, Lowry, Van Vliet been coin flipping. One of these guys has been really strong. Sometimes they live together. Siakam, a strong game the other night against the Nets, and Chris Boucher has moved up to 5.9, 5.4K on FanDuel and DraftKings, respectively. This is a hard game to break down because I can see plays in this game, and at the same time, compared to the rest of the slate, I can see myself not having any of this game. Where are you landing?
God, Chris Boucher is a tier 1 today. Absolute lock. 5-4 on DK. You start every lineup with Cousins and Boucher. It's Memphis. He's getting the minutes. It's always a minutes thing with him, and you never worry about. You give him minutes, he produces. 27, 30 minutes, back-to-back games. Elite matchups, Brooklyn and Atlanta. But I mean, Memphis right up there too.
Are we about to get Alex Len off of Rogers?
We might. I mean, it's the worry is there, but the minutes have been going up. 5-4. This is a guy at one point season playing 7-3, close to 8K when he used to get 30 minutes a night. So at 5-4, I'm tier 1ing him. Him and Boogie taking the center util spot in 80% of lineups, maybe. Definitely 60.
Yeah, okay, so you're way more aggressive than I am, or than I think you need to be. But sure.
I mean, he could easily outscore Boogie here. Like, it wouldn't be shocking at all.
Okay. Let's take a step back. Let's assess the situation.
Brooklyn
Brooklyn game, there was people out, right? And it was the Brooklyn Nets defense. Showed up and showed out that day. The Atlanta Hawks, another bad defense. Your team was on a back-to-back. Woosah. He did great.
Memphis is terrible against centers. 6th worst in the league.
Okay. But is this as great of a spot as Atlanta or as Brooklyn? And
Memphis is giving it up more than Atlanta to centers.
Okay, I get it. Tier 1, no, though. There's no shot. You're out of your mind.
5-4?
It's the risk that you have to assume to tier 1 him. Like, let's say he's 15% by the field. I don't really see the field getting much more crazier than that. I could be way wrong. Even if he's at 20%, you're talking about tier 1 in. You're taking that much risk on this size slate when there's so many free and obvious plays elsewhere. In that price point, you're gonna have to make some sacrifices elsewhere. There's no way that's a tier 1 for me. Like, tier 1, we're talking 60%. So you want to 3x the field, and you want to assume that much more risk in your lineup portfolio tonight.
How many minutes are you projecting?
I put him at 26.
26 minutes.
And 26, that's a chip in a chair for 30. That's what you need. I don't need to tier 1 that. Like, I think he's a fine play. But you're saying tier 1 means you think he's far and away a better play than 99.9% of the slate. And then that's what you think. That's what you're saying.
Points per dollar, I think he's probably a top.
No. Let's not walk it back. Points per dollar. You're just out here assuming. All right. What are you doing with the Grizzlies? Anything?
I want to play John Morant. Like, I just keep playing him. So he just owes me at 75. I think there's upside there. This could be the spot where he gets you 40 plus, close to 50. Again, he's got other guys out. I'm going to talk San Antonio game. That point guard spot. Guard is just so deep, right? I mean, Levine and Beal are going to take a ton of ownership there. It's going to be hard to get to with Oladipo there too. Like Oladipo versus Morant. You're going Oladipo, I'd assume.
Yes.
Yeah. See, so I mean, it's just tough to get to him. I get the play though.
Let's get caught up on chat here. Solo says, when did Diallo become a point guard on FanDuel? I guess you start a couple games, FanDuel adjusts pretty quickly. FanDuel's been quick to adjust people at positions, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worst. G-Man says, Morant is like Mike Conley when he was a Grizzly. He's not consistent, but if I don't pick him, he balls out. Yeah, what up, Ben? Snapping. Josh Gilham, done with Len. He started last game and played less minutes. That's what I'm saying about Boucher. Solid picks, no Boucher versus J-Val. Also, I don't want to have, again, center is so stacked today. Jonas Valanciunas just might also be in a good spot with no Brandon Clark in that front court. Centers against the Raptors are done just fine, and they also allow one of the higher levels of blocks per game in the league. We go to blocks per game allowed.
Like, there's J-Val, there's no way he plays over 30.
I mean, yes, but that it's not a 30-minute prerequisite to roster somebody.
At 7-2, I just think his upside's limited with his minutes limit.
Okay, that's fair. You just came out here and touted Boucher.
Boucher,
It was fine with it off of 2 games of solid minute counts, and then I bring up somebody else. Yeah, but his minutes though. What the? Okay, buddy. But no, Boucher. Like I like the thought of Boucher. Don't get me wrong. The thought of Boucher is
you're
great.
You're gonna have in the pool. It's not like you're not playing.
Yeah, he's gonna be a tier 3, absolutely. But tier 1 is that's a high honor. One thing I do like about Boucher, he averages 2 blocks per game. That's amongst the block leaders in basketball. There's like Miles Turner. Blocks per minute, he might even be higher. And the Memphis Grizzlies so far this season allowed the most blocks per game in the league, 6.3. So he could absolutely be going full fake on FanDuel with stocks tonight.
He's power forward on FanDuel too. That's very nice.
Yeah. What else we got in the live chat? What's wrong with the world? Got people waiting for stimulus checks while people like Alex Lynn are out here making millions. Ouch.
That's facts. That's so facts.
There's always been a lot of people in the league making a lot of money
right?
to do nothing.
I feel like there's a lot of just like super millionaires walking around of like no name guys in leagues that you don't even know, but you're like, oh.
Shadow Stefan says, yo, man, I've got Oladipo over 19.5 points on my sports book. What do you think of this bet? Well, double check what I have him in point projections in the prop sheet. Oladipo, I've got him at 27.1. So yeah, I would probably take that.
He hasn't been smashing though. Like I've played a ton of Oladipo when Wall is out and some guys. He just hasn't gotten there a ton. It's weird. Like the usage is there. I just don't get it. He should. Everything points to him smashing, but he doesn't.
Yeah, my projections have him 8 over, so I'd probably take that stuff. How many minutes do you have Joe Val in for right now? I got him jotted for 26. Lorenzo, what's up? Lorenzo, how you doing, bro? Brooks on FanDuel has some value. So Dylan Brooks and Kyle Anderson have chipping at chairs at these price points. They could get a little bit deeper minutes with guys like Melton out, with guys like Clark out. We've seen Kyle Anderson have to stretch out at times. So I don't think that's a crazy take. And then Dylan Brooks is the guy that you want to play, shooter's going to shoot. The Raptors do allow an elevated amount of points via the 3-ball. They are really good at preventing points in the paint, only 40 points in the paint per game. And just to put that in perspective, points in the paint allowed per game, Raptors are the second best team at preventing points in the paint. So they really force you to score via shooting. And I think Dylan Brooks is the guy that could take advantage of that. So I don't hate errant shots at Brooks or Anderson on FanDuel at their price points just to kind of fill a role and be stocking stuffers. Yeah, 40 fantasy points 3 games ago for Dylan Brooks, 25 real points. So in games like that, I think there is a range of outcomes for Brooks to get hot and start sinking. So it is what it is. You don't think this game blows out? I got a 2-point spread, so I got to lean with Vegas here. No Gordon, Wall, or Wood. I'll take that over 19.5 for sure. 107 people. Hey, man, shout out to the people watching. Hit that thumbs up. Show some love. It's been scientifically proven that if you hit the thumbs up on this video, your odds of cashing tonight exponentially increase. It's this Bill Nye,
verified
the
by
science
Harvard
guy. Bill Nye, the science guy. Minnesota Timberwolves at the Dallas Mavericks. Project starting 5 for the T-Wolves. D'Angelo Russell, maybe. Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, Anthony Edwards crossing over with Anthony Edwards. Naz Reid taking on Luka Doncic, Josh Richardson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Maxi Kleber, Kristaps Porzingis. We have 225.5 total, with a 10-point spread in favor of the Dallas Mavericks. I feel like there's not a Maverick fan watching that believes Dallas will cover 10, but they're going against perhaps the worst team in basketball, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Let's go pull up the Minnesota Timberwolves injury news and notes. D'Angelo Russell, the most prevalent. He has a right quad. He's being listed as questionable. He missed Saturday's game against OKC, but that was the second leg of a back-to-back, which might have factored into the decision to sit him. Looks like there's a chance he'll be back in action for this Mavs game, but he is officially questionable. So look out for D-Russ. In and out news. I got him in right now, projected at 30+ minutes. Malik Beasley the same. Anthony Edwards at 31 minutes. So I could see myself just writing off the T-Wolves if D'Angelo Russell's in. You can make a case for Naz Reid. Centers have done really, really well against the Mavericks here. They've certainly allowed some big rebounding games, and they've allowed Draymond Green to kind of wake up and be Draymond Green of old, where people thought he was a top 5 player. There was a time. I lived through it, I promise. But Draymond Green, 48.5 DKP last time out. and he did it on like one bucket, right? He didn't have.
That is impressive. I'll give him that. That's pretty impressive.
He almost 5x5. It was a block away from a 5x5. 15 assists. I don't think Naz Reid is going to curtain call that. However, the game prior to that, Draymond Green, 29 minutes, 42 DKP. Clint Capella, 30, 40 DKP. DeAndre Ayton, a game prior, 17 rebounds. In back-to-back games against the Mavericks, they have not been rebounding well. And bigs have been getting off. So, like somebody asked in the chat earlier, what did I think about Naz Reid? Statistically, matchup-wise, it's there. Am I really going to sacrifice a center spot or a big spot when I feel a little bit more warm and fuzzy on Boogie and guys like that? Probably not. But the matchup, man, matchup's the matchup. If you believe in DVP, if you believe in recent trends, we've certainly seen centers just go bananas on the Mavericks here. Mavericks are allowing the second most fantasy points per game to opposing centers and are allowing the 6th, 7th most fantasy points per game to opposing power forwards. So it's been a great spot. The only team allowing more points per game in the center spot than the Dallas Mavericks, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Kristaps Porzingis has entered the chat. 8-1, 8-4. Likely gets very little ownership tonight. And I think this is a does the game blow out or not type of question. But he absolutely can be a point per minute guy, and he can go off 31 minutes and 25 minutes against Golden State. 36-41, so he was over a point per minute, and maybe the small ball kind of pushed him off a little bit. 16, 18, 20 shot attempts his last 3 games. I definitely think there's a tournament chip in a chair for Porzingis to get there. And then the cover boy, Luka Doncic, 11.4K on FanDuel, 11K on DraftKings. I think the 9K area so far tonight's pretty loaded. The 8K not far behind. Luka Doncic is your second most expensive player on the DraftKings slate. And one of the best matchups you could ask for. He's put together some extremely, extremely strong games. Where are you at on Luka? How do you get to him if you want him?
I mean, so it's Minnesota. They don't play a lot of defense. Great spot. How much after him? So LeBron is no AD today. So he's going to be a stud you're going to, want a good amount of. Got Bradley a good amount without Westbrook. Mentioned Levine. And then Jokic is sitting there against Milwaukee with Jamal Murray questionable. Okay, if Jamal Murray gets ruled out, I'm just loading up on it. Just Jokic is going to be the highest scorer on the slate in all likelihood, I think.
No.
I did.
You think Jokic would be the highest owned player on the slate? Absolutely not.
No, highest scoring player on the slate.
Well, even then, okay, sure.
There, but with it, so I want to get to him. It's not going to be easy. I think you got to keep him in the pool because against Minnesota, he should do whatever he wants with it. Again, point guard, tough. He might maybe a 20%er.
You think Luka? You get to 20% Luka? Okay, I mean that's not right or wrong.
I'd want to. Like you're not going to fade Luka, right?
I gotta see how line. So first of all, 10-point spread. Do you believe in the Dallas Mavericks to put away a team like the lowly Timberwolves?
No, Dallas has been not looked that great this year.
No one believes it. Like it's yikes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
what is the Dallas Mavericks net this season? So Mavericks are a minus 2.4. So yeah, the Minnesota's been minus 7. So I maybe, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard to believe in the Mavericks defense right now.
Really is.
Could
be another 70 bomb for him though, right? Like I mean.
Yeah. Okay, but like 60 or 60, 70s. Kind of what you need, right? If he got you less than 60 today, it's whatever. But you're just hoping that
get you like 55 and Levine gets you 55. Yeah, Luka's gonna need 65.
70. That's where I'm at. He could still be the highest raw point scorer on the slate today, but if it stays under the 70 points, because hey, let's not forget LeBron's on the slate too without Anthony Davis. Like there's
a lot. I think Beal, Levine, and LeBron are kind of the chalk plays. So I think Luka goes a little under the. Under the table.
Anyway, let's get caught up on chat here. Pete says, Gunn made a John Edwards reference crossing over. I'm glad people are getting my references today. Somebody got my liar reference. Somebody got my Anthony Edwards reference. Like, chat, y'all get me, and I get you, and this is why we're here.
Can you make like a I don't know, like an Even Stevens reference? That's a show. Or like a Boy Meets World reference, That's a good show.
It's gotta work with the name. I can't just say, is
True, we need
Luka
some-
is Luka Doncic a Boy Meets World because he's been savage lately?
Okay. I gotta think of some.
That's off the dome,
That's
chat.
dope.
That's off the dome. Hit the subscribe
Sorry
button
about it.
if you thought that was fire. Anyway, Des says Malik Beasley got Pippen powers. He must have figured the closest he could. Was Ben Savage Boy Meets World, or was that was that his brother? I don't even know. There's two Savages. There was a Ben. One of them was on some other. Anyway, Pippen powers. He must have figured out the closest he could ever get to being Pippen was to get to the man's wife. He has been balling though. Malik Beasley. I would need D'Angelo Russell to be out to really roster Malik Beasley at this price point, and even then, I'm not going nuts with it. But yes, Beasley definitely has potential to be a fantastic fantasy play, but oftentimes that is correlated with the absence of D-Russ. Ben Sabbath says Keldon Johnson or Rui. How did you get there? No, probably Keldon, but Rui's in a good spot. 18 says, I know we aren't on this game anymore, but it's easy to load up on Booker and swap him to Colin Sexton if Paul plays. Ill. Des, so true. Blah, blah, blah. Looking through. Luka might drop 90 tonight. So that's where you want Luka. That's why we want some Luka. Like even if Luka got you 60, right? You'll take the raw points to the bank and you go for it. But yeah, that's the scary part. If you don't have Luka, you're hoping he stays at 60 or less, and you want him to get 80 or whatever. Anyway, Luka might get 20 tonight. Rolling 20s, maybe. Raj is so Canadian. Dropped the Even Stevens reference. Yeah, Ben Savage. Let's go. Ben Savage was Boy Meets World. All right, Fred Savage was Wonder Year. Okay. All right, 7. Let's go. Chris Paul's questionable today. I think Booker would be a lock if he misses. What's up, Anthony?
His price? Yeah.
I'm with it. Like I'm not pushing back on anyone that has Devin Booker as a tier 1. Like that's not the thought process is we could say that now, but when you're making lineups and you got high priority on Devin Booker, and then you're like, oh yeah, with Levine without Markkanen is in a top 1 matchup. Oh yeah, Beal without Westbrook. Oh yeah, that's what
Beal,
LeBron without
Levine.
AD. Like if he's truly a tier 1, then I get it. But like when you try to put that into practice, it might fall through the cracks more than you guys think.
Beal, Levine, and Booker, you can play together on DK, which is nice. FanDuel.
Next game on the docket, Golden State Warriors at the San Antonio Spurs. Project starting 5 for the Warriors. Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins, Kelly Oubre, Juan Toscano Anderson, Draymond Green. I don't know why Juan Toscano Anderson makes me want to eat a sandwich. Up against Dejounte Murray, Derek White, DeMar DeRozan, Keldon Johnson, and Jakob Poeltl. Am I not Poeltl enough for the Poeltl Club? Poeltl, 232.5 total, 1.5 points spread fair to the San Antonio Spurs. DeMar DeRozan's in a great spot. He's 8K, 7K. DeMar DeRozan could be just a 1v1 versus Devin Booker regardless, right? If Chris Paul is out right now, DeRozan still has a shot to score the same, if not more.
I literally like them the same. I think they're the exact same player to me if Chris Paul is out.
And then Jakob Poeltl, 5'8", 5'9". He has 30-plus fantasy point potential. Obviously, we have center pretty deep today, but don't forget Poeltl exists. I know that last game was kind of rough for him. If we pull up his game log, this game probably gets a little small bally, but he played 29 minutes against Houston. Boogie defense, whatever, it's tough. 0 for 6. But the game prior, Minnesota, more similar in pace, defense a little softer. Drop 40. So if I get the north side of 30 fantasy points out of Jakob Poeltl, I might have an errant share or two. Dejounte Murray, if you get to him, you get to him. And then Steph Curry, 10.1, 10.3K.
That's another one.
He's in no man's land, right? He's on an island essentially. If we go to that point guard spot, and even LeBron, I guess LeBron is point guard eligible without Anthony Davis. Like, there's all the reason in the world to not land on Curry, not to argue against Curry, but if you prioritize Luka in a spot where you drop 80, or you go get LeBron without AD, or you just go get some of these 9K people. Steph Curry's just still out here balling like it's a habit, man. 75, 41, 73 DKP, and 2 of his last 3. It's the San Antonio Spurs. If the game stays competitive, Curry could absolutely drop another 60, 70. Could he drop, plus minus 5 to 8 fantasy points of Luka, right? If we're valuing 1,000 DFS dollars as 6 to 8 fantasy points, is there 6 to 8 fantasy points difference between what Luka does and what Curry does? Curry could still just do it, right? So it's probably tier 3 on Curry. I got Pascal still questionable. Draymond 7K. We can back out of Draymond now, right? We could just say that was the
I'm
Mavs.
not playing Draymond at 7K. If he gets 50 bomb again, I just lose the slate. It's completely fine. That was a career game in steals and blocks, I'd assume, or one of those.
I don't think. No. He's definitely he's triple double with steals before Draymond is.
Okay, yeah, that seems about right. I mean, back 15 assist games. I'm just gonna hope it's just a Dallas thing. Don't expect that again. I mean, at 6'8", I get it. Like, there is some upside there. It's San Antonio.
I need 40. Defense. I need 40.
Yeah, you need 40 plus. You probably need 50 on this slate. I'm going to have him. I'm not going to play him at a center spot. Definitely a power forward spot then on DK. I'm probably going to have him in the pool. I mean, with Steph Curry, too, we talked that last slate when he went off. We all played James Harden when Kevin Durant and Kyrie was out, and Curry and, Luka was a play. So if he gets lost again, I think you got to have him in the pool. This is one of those days where I think you just have to have all these guards in the pool. I don't like to do, but they're just in all
gotta make stands, spots. Bro. Stop being a wimp. Make some stands. Yeah. Make some decisions.
I'm not fading Steph. I'm not fading Steph against San Antonio.
So how many lines were you running? How many lines do you anticipate to run tonight?
I might just have to punch more tickets. I don't know. I might just have to keep adding lines to add players I need. I'm just gonna play him. Probably gonna have some Draymond. I love DeRozan today. Again, you have no Aldridge and no Lonnie Walker. So I mean, that's not kind of a direct reflection to DeRozan, but I think he'll get a bit of a bump there. So he's coming off a back-to-back game, tons of usage, 40, 37 minutes. It's Golden State. It just screams another 45 to 50 spot here. Give me DeRozan. And I think some of these value guys, again, with Lonnie Walker out, I think you can go. No, Derek White's not really a value. Patty White, not really a value. I mean, Keldon Johnson coming off a couple of down games. He could have the big game, and DeRozan have the down game. Wouldn't be shocked there. You mentioned Poto. Again, how much Poto are you really going to get to with center being the way it is today? Probably not. I mean, very little on FanDuel. Maybe a little more on DK. But DeRozan's probably tier 2.
Is DeRozan overvalued? Meow.
Coming off of
Meow.
back.
That's a cat. That's a cat, and Dante thinks so. 328 minutes of sample size of DeRozan this season without LaMarcus Aldridge. DeRozan 27.5% usage rate, 1.1 fantasy point per minute. Let me ask you this: Golden State, they take control of the game. What do? They're shooting threes, right? Other team has to fire back, shoot some threes. Who's not going to shoot threes? DeMar effing DeRozan, man.
He's still getting it done. He's still going to have points. He's 7 assists.
Okay.
He's averaging 6.6 assists.
I think the fouls are doing more service for him lately than a lot of people realize. And that's kind of been the difference between big games and not.
Golden State guys foul him when he's driving to the rim. James Wiseman's just going to foul him a couple times. I like it. I like DeRozan. And at his price, at that 7-7 price tag, 50-point upside, I think you got to have him in the pool.
Yeah, he's in the pool, but I taper my expectations with DeRozan at 8K. Even if I ended up with no DeRozan, I would not be like freaking out either.
You know what it is? Him being small forward and power forward is nice. You have all those guards, and him at that position.
That is nice.
Yeah.
Rebound rate for the Warriors, not good. So might get some deeper rebound numbers here for maybe a Keldon and Jakob guys
even
like
DeRozan.
that.
DeRozan gets rebounds.
Dejounte Murray averaging 7 rebounds a game. Might be the most obvious in hindsight triple-double. Just putting it out there. Actually, I really like Dejounte Murray now I think about it. No one's going to play him. But yeah. Rebounds high for him. Maybe get some assists, and he'll probably chuck more threes than everyone. Maybe Patty Mills also as a chucker, sharpshooter from behind the arc. So I don't know, man. I'm just saying, don't get dead set on DeRozan here. There's some supplementary plays that get caught up on the live chat. Des says DeRozan's averaging 25, 5, and 5 against Curry his last 5 games. That's really good. That's what you want. That movie Master of Disguise was corny, but I don't know why that dude from Star Trek always laughs and farts is still funny. I forget that dude's name, but he was in a Super Bowl commercial with the Wayne's World. What is that guy's name?
He's got a girl's name.
Dana Carvey. That's his name. It was funny. I don't know. I was watching Family Matters and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunions the other day. I love Fresh Prince. Draymond has back-to-back games with 15 assists. Draymond turned into 1, and Steph is the 2. I mean, that's kind of what Draymond was doing back in the day. And then, like, earlier this season, the minutes just haven't been there. But you take out Wiseman, you take out Pascal, he's got to play a little deeper minutes. And they're finding it. I think it's fine that Draymond, if Draymond's not going to shoot and score, then do something. If you're going to create shots for the rest of your team, right, his assists are correlating with some of the better Oubre games of the season and Wiggins, I think that's fine.
Pascal plays today. You think it's a bit of a hit?
Minutes-wise, I think it might hit JTA faster more than Draymond. No Walker, Mills, or White get more minutes. Yep. DeRozan looks like the man on the cream of wheat box. Oh, boy. Just out of curiosity, cream of wheat box. Get this one. Yeah, okay. All right, I'm about to order cream of wheat. All right, that's how weird. DeRozan has been shooting threes a little bit, right? I think the game could pressure, the shot attempt, shot volume, stuff like that. Actually, just out of curiosity, I don't want to completely DeRozan DKP by game log versus you said Curry, right? So Steph Curry. Why am I not typing last 10 games? Let's see what his 3-point volume has been in previous games against the Warriors. 3-point attempts. He has attempted 2 3-pointers, he's made 2 3-pointers in his last 10 games, but he's put up solid numbers, so I can't hate. But I got like 1 game per year. He hasn't played them. He played them January this year, 23 DKP, 25 minutes. Played him in March of 2019, so we're going 2 seasons back. He was a little different player back then, right? 50. And then you got to go back to Toronto, 18, 17. I think this might even be... No, it's not a playoff. So I don't know, man. This might be one of those stat muse with a grain of salt type of situations. And I'm not gonna push it. I don't know. I don't have the same DeRozan infatuation today as I normally do. But I do like some tournament ideas on Dejounte. Ben Snap and Devin Vassal's a good pick tonight. Poor Popovich. He needs a new team since Kawhi left him. Nah, Greg. Popovich can go anywhere he effing wants. I think he's chilling. Don't be fooled. Those Draymond games were against the same team. Yep. But Clay might have been on him a lot of those games. Who, Draymond? Or for DeRozan? I don't know. I don't want to start breaking down games from 3 years ago. Let's move on to the next game. Cavs at the Phoenix Suns. Project starting 5 for the Cavs. Darius Garland, Colin Sexton, Isaac Okoro, Tarin Prince, Andre, the Giant, Drummond taking on Chris Paul, maybe, Devin Booker, McCall Bridges, Frank Kaminsky, DeAndre Ayton. We got a 214.5 total, 6.5 point spread in favor of the Phoenix Suns. So we know Chris Paul is questionable, midday questionable. There's a great chance to be out. You're looking for a rest game. Why not the Cleveland Cavaliers? They're not good. So just because everyone's going to be on Devin Booker, let's go take off Chris Paul and see what kind of sample size we have. Let's put Booker and might as well put Ayton on, but let's just put Booker on for now and see what it spits back. We've got 200 minutes of sample size, a 31% usage rate, and a fantasy point per minute. And then, of course, if we stretch back to last year, this team will look a lot like last year's team when Chris Paul wasn't even in the mix. So I completely understand the Devin Booker comp. I understand the love. He's 7,400. Could get 40 to 50 fantasy points here. The Cavs are so bad. Phoenix favored by 6.5. My only pushback is I can't tier 1 Devin Booker if I'm tier 1ing Bradley Beal or Zach LaVine or DeMarcus. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I got a bunch of AK guys already prioritized, Devin Booker falls through the cracks. So if we want Booker, we take Booker. But if I'm going to push back, I'm going to give you reasons why I'm pushing back. First of all, pace-wise, we got Phoenix as the 4th slowest pace in basketball, Cleveland the 5th slowest. Versus
what's the defensive rating, though?
Defensive rating for Cleveland is bad. It's very bad, but that's not a good thing. Because offensively, Cleveland's the worst team in basketball, and defensively,
I mean, Booker should.
Huh? What? I don't. You just went major.
No, I mean, yeah. I mean, Devin Booker should score.
Yeah, Yeah,
on this Cleveland team.
Your McDonald's Wi-Fi's cutting out, bro. There you go. Anyway, I'm expecting slower pace, lower scoring game. So, yeah. Can you hear me? Hello. So that's kind of why.
Yeah. So no, I hear you now. I was gonna say Chris Paul being out is definitely a downgrade defensively for Phoenix.
Sure, but what are we talking about? It's the Cavs.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So, like, I think Devin Booker should score easily. I think the Cavs, Colin Sexton, matching up against Booker, he's going to play a little. I think this game stays close. I don't think it's a blowout by any means, if that's what you're kind of saying.
Even if it stayed close, like, what are we talking? We're talking 190.
We're talking 30 real life points and 9 assists, a couple rebounds. At 74,
sure.
On DK.
No, sure. Like I'm not against the play, but I'm against when you're sitting there telling me he's a tier 1, or you telling me right now, and it's okay if the answer to these questions yes. Are you going to have more Booker?
Be safer than Zach LaVine.
So you're going to have more Devin Booker than Zach LaVine? That's what I'm getting at. You can't sit here and tell me he's a tier 1, but if you're gonna have more LaVine and more Beal and more LeBron, like you're not like he's not a tier 1 to you because you're only gonna have 30%, 20%.
Okay, tier 2 then.
So I'm not arguing the validity of the play. I'm arguing like, is he really going to be a high priority for you? For me, it's not for me. I might tier 2 him and see what happens.
I hear you.
And even we just talked about DeRozan. Who are you going to have more right now, DeRozan or Devin Booker?
But I'd have more DeRozan just because of positional thing. He's small forward and power forward eligible on DK, so he just fits a lot easier.
And that's what I'm saying. The thought of Devin Booker's nice, but when you put it into practice and you execute your optimizer, are you really getting the amount of Devin Booker you thought you would with Chris Paul out?
You put LaVine, you put Beal. Let me put Booker in that util spot, see what we get. What I'm left with, 4,900. Ooh, don't DeRozan.
Andre Drummond.
Tough.
We got Larry Nance out again. Andre Drummond 7-2 on FanDuel, 8-2 on DraftKings. So that price point for Drummond is getting dangerously low. And to put that in context, Drummond is right there in price with Thad Young. And I get it, right? They're kind of cluttered at centered, but they've also been in a couple games where it wasn't good spots. So the Milwaukee Bucks 2 games in a row, but he still played 29 and 30 minutes, and he's still essentially like 7-2 breaks 40 fantasy points. Man, Drummond just might be lurking here, going against a team that maybe take a step back defensively. The Phoenix Suns are pretty elite against wing players and shooters. They give up the most points in the paint in terms of where they struggle at defensively. Might be a spot where they lean on Drummond a little bit, and he might be a little too underpriced on FanDuel. Just kind of keep that in mind. Obviously, the pushback to any center today is DeMarcus Cousins' existence. But there's that. If I told you Chris Paul's out right now and you're on Devin Booker, do you have interest in DeAndre Ayton? Because he's pretty cheap on both sides too. And last year, the Suns it was a lot of Devin Booker, Ayton handcuffs, and you moved on from there. And again, my
6,900,
yeah,
golden price. Get center. Oh, am I really gonna click in? Boucher.
Chat, you're right. Oladipo's in the mix too. So I mean, that's just what I'm getting at. Like we can sit here and say Booker's tier 1 lock without Chris Paul.
At that $1,600 price, he has 45, 50 point upside. Not having the pool.
Ayton has 72 minutes of sample size without Chris Paul. He's averaging 1 point. He's averaging more fantasy points per minute than Booker, but the sample size is smaller. If we maybe roll it back to last season, just kind of put a little bit closer, or a little bit. It's gonna have Ibra and Rubio, so it's not even fair to do that. But he's there. But like I'm pushing back. Like I got to make some stands somewhere, right? You can't play every play that you think could be a good play today. Otherwise, you have 10.
150 lineup day. Maybe I should punch 150 tickets and play.
That's his answer. He can't make a decision, so let me elongate. Yeah, no, I'm okay with that. All right, Cavs. You do anything with the Cavs other than Drummond? Drummond, I don't even think I land to Drummond.
Yeah, it's tough to get to him.
But if he drops 50 at 7,200, you'd be like, yeah, it was Andre Drummond. And I get it, chat. Like, he's not going to be a high-minute guy, but they gave him 30 minutes back-to-back games against the Bucks. Like, why wouldn't we bake 30 minutes without Larry Nance today? So, and especially against a team that does a little bit better on the wing and perimeter. Sure, Chris Paul's out, so maybe takes a step forward, but Drummond's still in a solid spot.
I think a guy like Taurean Prince is interesting. It just comes through for me whenever Larry Nance is out. He gets the minutes. So he can outscore guys, outscore guys like Patrick Williams, who will be a lot more popular today at that power forward spot, similar price. So give me some Taurean Prince as a value option.
I don't think I again.
He just gets there every time. Every time he plays for me, he just gets there.
So
value. I'm playing all those expensive guards. I need some value at the small forward, power forward spot, and he fits in very nicely. Like him versus Denzel Valentine and Patrick Williams.
No, I don't think so. I think Taurean Prince is being bro. So just look at where Taurean Prince has succeeded. The two games were without Larry Nance. Yes, Milwaukee, one of the fastest paced teams in basketball, where you have to chuck threes because you're going to be down 20. And
anytime he plays 30 minutes, he just gets there.
No, he doesn't.
Look up last
28 minutes against the Clippers, and I believe that was the game without Kawhi and Paul George. He got 18.
33 minutes against Milwaukee, 32 Minnesota.
So we're just going to ignore the 28. No,
because it ain't 30.
And then all those 30 games are against really bad. Like I don't know, man. I think
I'm gonna say DFS.
You don't stop. You're not putting context like this. You're literally like this is a brain dead way to play. You're not putting context to the game. You're just like 30 minutes. There's no other. Possibly, we don't have to look at matchups. We don't have to look at who was in. It was that a game where Darius Garland was out. No, you're not putting context. You're just like, 30 minutes, he did good. Boom, I'm going to play him. Yep. No. This game is a slow-paced game. Taurean Prince, we've seen him be Taurean Prince on the Nets, right? If he's not going to be a top 2, top 3 guy for scoring, and he's not, it's Sexton, Garland, Drummond, then Taurean Prince, and then it's just like, is there going to be a high enough pace for him to out peripheral a guy like Patrick Williams? No. Denzel Valentine? No. Those guys are in elite spots.
Well,
like, how are you here?
That's so deep. Those guys can easily at their ownership. I'm like,
your justification.
It's just ownership.
You're just making up. No. You don't have reasons. You're just like
it's
DFS, bro.
It's just ownership play. You know, Patrick Williams and Denzel are going to be super chalk. So if you want to pivot off those guys and play Taurean Prince, who could outscore them given 30 minutes, I'm going to do it.
No,
we're not trying to mint cash here when everyone plays.
No,
those guys.
I don't. If it happens, it happens. I'm not gonna be results orientated on a 1-day sample size. But that's like, give me some substance, man. Give me some context, some reasons, some justification. You think the Wizards, with the team that the Wizards are rolling out, it's gonna be a bottom 5 defensive efficiency. It's still a top 3 pace team. It's going to be a track meet.
I'm gonna have those guys.
But then why distill your exposure? Like, I don't get it. Like, if you, I think on this slate, if you're gonna have high percentage of people, it needs to be the lock value guys, because it sounds like we're indecisive on the 8+ K guys, and we want to spin the wheel on those guys. So make your value guys your core, and then spin around the guys that are the Levines, the Boogers, guys like that. Don't get ridiculously spread thin on your 4K players, especially guys that make no sense. Anyway, chat, let me get caught up. I'm freaking taking you to school today, bro. I need you to do better.
We'll see when the lineups come out. 1v1 it.
Let's see. Bracken says there's so much out on the Rockets. I feel like it's hard to go Levine when Oladipo's on the slate. Yeah, but Levine has, I would say, arguably more higher ceiling than Depot, just because they probably play the same minutes, and one guy is going to be on a game that probably scores a lot more real points, right? Paul says Wiggins doesn't get the peripherals to win a tournament. I'm saying this because I was close to winning a tournament with him 2 weeks ago. Dad says Taurean has been playing so bad lately, though. Taurean Prince is, if you put him in a bad defensive matchup, like the other team's going to give him steals and peripherals, go for it. Or there was a stretch there where Taurean Prince was coming off the bench and kind of being the point guard of the second unit for the Cavs, and then Nair started being out, and they put Prince to the starting lineup, and that was the thing. And then Darius Garland came back. His minutes stretched out a little bit. You got to put context of what Taurean Prince has been doing. I don't care if he hit value in 30 minutes against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Give me a break. You can't just say Prince. Yeah, all right, let's keep it moving. When you talk that stuff, gun. What did I just see? When you talk that stuff, gun will just get you with the context or import. Yeah, and the same with the stat muse. Right? We talk about some guy owns this team. I stat mused it, and then we pull it up, and it's like 3-4 years ago. Like, come on, what are we doing here? You got to love Roger. Gun, you're going to have to pay for a new ceiling for me because my picker just went through it when you were yelling at Rod. Okay.
It's like that.
Hello, Beal. He's taking 30+. Exactly. Raj didn't think the weekend had good performance, but he thinks Taurean Prince's good performances. Yeah. Right? No, I'm here. I just accidentally muted the mic. Anyway, let's move on to the next game here. Where are we at? 3:16. Oh, hell yeah. It's 3:16. 9:30 p.m. game. Milwaukee Bucks at the Denver Nuggets. We get a little bit of altitude. Projected starting 5 for the Bucks. Drew Holiday, Dante DiVincenzo, Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Brooke Lopez taking on Jamal Murray, Will Barton, Michael Porter Jr., Paul Millsap, and Nikola Jokic. A 233 total, 4-point spread in favor of the Milwaukee Bucks. We did get word, right, that Jamal Murray was questionable. Let's refresh that, kind of get the update. Let's pull up his card here on DK. It might actually work faster. Jamal Murray, knee, questionable for Monday's game against the Bucks. Mike Singer of the Denver Post reports. Shout out to Mike Singer and all my pairs. Let me see if Roto World has a different update here that might sway me a little bit. Jamal Murray, Q, left knee soreness, being questionable. Murray sat out Saturday's loss to Sacramento, but we'll have a better idea where he's at based on his activity level at tomorrow's shoot-around. If he is forced to spend another game on the sidelines, Monte Morris would be slated for another start. So kind of look out for that. Also, spread. Where's Vegas at here? Let me pull up NBA. Actually, Labs would have it, right? So let's pull up the Vegas tab here on Fantasy Labs. Probably my favorite Vegas tab in all of the internet. So we want to look up the Denver game. Denver. This game is a 3.5-point spread in favor of the Bucks, so 4-3. So the line really hasn't moved based on this Murray news. But you said if Jamal Murray's out, your interest in Nikola Jokic goes up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think that's fair, right? There's no reason that's probably one of the smartest things you've said all day.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also basic. I got him for 37 minutes. Give me 50, 60 fantasy points. I'm if I had 0 Jokic tonight, even if you told me Jamal Murray was out, I don't feel like I'm missing out.
Fading an 80 bomb.
It's possible. It's definitely possible. Yeah. I get it. I 100% get it. Do you believe the game stays competitive? And I think it probably we put them in some tude. What's the recent stretch here for the Bucks looking like? 6th, 5th. So they're coming off a day of rest. They did play, so it would be a 3rd and 4, but there is a day of rest in between. It is in the altitude. I mean, if it stays close, it seems like it would have to be on Jokic.
Yeah, Jokic, and he'll have some help with Porter Jr., Will Barton, Monte Morris. I think they could keep it close, keep it a game. I mean, you saw his upside last game without Murray. Of course, it was against Sacramento. No one there to stop him. Even Milwaukee, no one there to really guard him. So it's going to be tough to get to him. Again, you mentioned Cousins. This just seems like the other day where everyone locked in Cousins. He got there, but Zeller was a better player. A couple other centers were better plays than Cousins. So he could be a guy that even if Murray gets ruled out, people might not click his name. The level 1 price tag, with the price tag you have to pay, especially with the other guards we talked about. So I think he's a great player in tournaments. I think he's going to be less than 10% owned.
Jokic?
Even with Murray out, yeah.
I don't think it'd be that low, but it makes
FanDuel,
sense.
Yes.
Oh, on FanDuel, yeah, okay.
Yeah, DK, I don't see more than 20. Probably like 13, 14.
Last couple games for Jokic against the Bucks: 33 DKP, 43 DKP, 36 DKP, 41 DKP. And then if we go to 2018, it gets juicy. But that was the time when the Bucks were really bad against centers. So I'm with it. I think he'll play de facto point guard. He'll do a lot. But I'm not pushing. I don't know why.
I hope Murray plays so I can just fade him, and I'll be okay with it.
I generally just don't play centers against the Bucks, and I also Like, unless you're like a 3-point sharpshooter, I usually don't get to you. I get it. Jokic has triple-double potential.
Yeah.
He's Jokic. I'm not shocked if I'm out on Jokic, much less like a fourth of the field. So if you like Jokic, play Jokic. 100% chat. Makes sense. I may not be there. The Bucks. I will say, if you think this game stays close, right, 4 quarters down to the wire, 3.5 point, 4-point spread. How often do you get Giannis Antetokounmpo in a close game? And there's a case to be made, even on a turbo late slate, that Giannis could outscore Jokic, right? Especially if he's going to cross up with Barton, Porter, Millsap, JaMychal Green. Like, yeah, Giannis should
be battling. This could be like that Steph Luka game where both these guys get 70 plus.
Yeah, absolutely. No pushback here. Makes a lot of sense. Chris Middleton is getting a little cheap, 7.2, 7.5. In games where we can keep the score closer, longer. 40 plus fantasy points has been there for him. I think a lot of people at that price point would just go play DeRozan. But there's a case that Middleton outscores DeRozan. I'm not pushing that narrative.
That small forward spot outside of LeBron, you can get to.
Right.
Trying to place at Middleton. I get it.
All right, chat. So, chat, where's your confidence? Your confidence on Jokic tonight. If right now Jamal Murray was out, would you be that high on Jokic at 11-6, 11-1? I don't think there's a wrong answer. I'm just curious to see where you guys are at. I think I'm not there, but it's not like I'm not there because I think it's a bad play. I feel better about else, like if I go get the guard. I don't know why. Usually when I get guard heavy, it doesn't end well because I'm a center over guards guy. But tonight I'm guard heavy, so it's probably gonna screw me. But let me know where you guys are at, chat. Again, no wrong or no. It's not like I agree or disagree that you'll prioritize.
What do you think Beal and Levine come in at?
Beal's got to be the highest. Bill's got to be the highest on DraftKings play. At 9K, maybe the highest on like 8K and above play.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's probably like a value play.
40.
I mean, how do you not? Like, how do you project Bill for less than 50 fantasy points at 9K against the Chicago Bulls? No Westbrook. Like Bill has to be the priority. Absolutely a tier 1 for me on DK. And then past that, it gets a little shaky. But it has to be Bill. The field has to be Bill, right?
I'm hoping that price for Levine maybe scare us off a couple people coming out the big game. It probably won't.
Lorenzo said I always lock Joker at home. That's fine. Like I'm with it. I'm just curious to see where you guys are at, chat. If you're representing the Joker, can't go for it. Definitely not anti. Pete says I love Joker, but Brolo gives him problems. I love Giannis. Gun, you're killing me. What's up, Mark? I'm on one today. I'll tell you what. I'm on one. Maybe that bang hit a little harder. Finally got some sleep. Yesterday was a day off. But I'm on one. If I had to propose a sample stream to like CBS. Because somebody needs to buy me a baseball podcast, bro. Somebody go buy my baseball podcast. This might be a stream I throw at him. I don't know. It's what I'm concerned about. I think Mark says, by the way, Levine has bust potential, but we have to play him against Beal. He definitely has bust potential, but so far this season without Larry Markkinen, just out of curiosity, Zach LaVine. Why am I not Zach LaVine DKP by game log without Larry Markkinen last 10 games? 55, 67, 59, 45, 40, 59. Like it's sexy, and some of those are against tough teams, right? The Lakers, and this is all this season too. We're not going 4 seasons ago with DeMar DeRozan or somebody like that. Like these are some nice numbers. So I don't know if he's as risky as maybe we want to believe he is, but I guess the price is there. Like if he dropped 50, he needs it. Lorenzo said, no CP3, especially with campaign out. Raj might be right that Booker could be a tier 1. So I'm not anti the thought of him being a tier 1, but for me, if you're putting it into practice and you're actually making your lineups, and for me, what tier 1 means is that's easily my highest owned player at that position. I don't think Devin Booker's going to be my highest owned guard, much less shooting guard, or even if I broke it down. Like, I'm going Beal. I'm going Levine. That's what was my case there. Like, I get the thought of Devin Booker. I just don't see myself having a tier 1 amount, right? 18 says, I just see Jokic getting 3 fouls in the first half and arguing everyone sitting on the bench. Yep. Rod's justification on picking up players that he's going to have numbers lineups. He's worthless on this show, just like all other providers that like everybody. Raj doesn't play 150 lineups usually.
No, unless like the Millie Maker, I'm just like solo.
All right, let's move on to the last game. Before we do that, chat, take a pause for the cause. Help me out here. 160 of the best DFS players on YouTube are watching this stream. Hit that thumbs up, show some love, and represent. Guys, I will be in the RunDFS.com VIP Discord at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central. Looks a little something like this. If you guys want to come hang out with the crew and chat pre-lock. We're in the pre-lock voice chat. Click voice chat. You don't have to join in. If you're shy, you just want to learn the cast and crew, you can just listen in and mute yourself. But if you got a mic, you can grab a mic, join in, talk some plays, shoot some breeze, argue about how good the weekend's performance was, because it was great. And props. A lot of player prop hunting from Chronic and Young C. They're out there looking at all the lines and numbers, comparing stuff. If you guys want to be part of that,
get that LeBron double prop right now.
It's part of my daily process. It's been like that for years. It's a fun way to make lineups without being too serious. And still keep an ear on the ground with news and stuff like that. The Discord keeps us up to the minute. News with the bot Dacker, so anytime Labs and people like that tweet news pertinent to the slate, we have it there. We also get helped out by our buddy Kyle from Fantasy Domination with his spins for hockey. We also have NASCAR coming up really, really soon. Pricing's already out. Contest looking like a snack. And then we have baseball, spring training in 20 days, 19 days, something like that. If you guys want to come be part of the premium content family, go to RunDFS.com, make an account, get a VIP pass. I think it's a $25 a week pass. I kept all the discount pricing. I may just keep it permanent. Don't quote me on that one, but I kept all the discount pricing. I'm not really stressing over $5 a week. We just out here vibing. So if you guys want to come be part of that, come be part of the Discord, go to RunDFS.com and try out a week pass. Main event tonight. 10 p.m. tip-off. This game happens 30 minutes after the Nuggets game, an hour. All right, so Lakers hosting Oklahoma City Thunder. Project 35 for the Lakers. SGA, Hamidou Diallo, Lou Dort, Darius Baisley, and Al Horford. Taking on Dennis Schroeder, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Kyle Kuzma, maybe LeBron James, Marc Gasol. A 218.5 total, a 10.5 point spread in favor of the Los Angeles Lakers of Anaheim. Let's pull up the Vegas total on that one. Let me see if there's been any line movement for the Lakers game. 10.5. So they moved from 12 to 10.5. We know Anthony Davis is out, and that gives us late night hammer LeBron at 10.8K on FanDuel, 10.5 on DraftKings. Throughout the years, has certainly been one of those. If X is out, play Y. Well, X is out tonight. So do we play Y? Because I gotta. Who gets that one? So let me take off Anthony Davis and put on LeBron James. And just kind of see the production we have this season. LeBron leads the team in usage, 34.6%, 334 minutes of sample size, a fantasy point per minute. Not egregious, but certainly a spot where he can continue his MVP campaign. We've seen people talk about Jokic's MVP campaign in chat, Embiid's MVP campaign. LeBron James is on one. And he's put together a string of solid games. And I know it's a 10-point spread, but so was the Pistons game, and that went to double overtime. So if you take out Anthony Davis from the mix, LeBron James could show up and show out. I know it's not, probably a juicy pace or total or anything like that, but could LeBron trip dub here? 10.5K, a little bit of a discount. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm with it. Past him, we want to maybe take advantage of somebody without AD. I think you can make Aaron cases for Dennis Schroeder if we go back to that production here. Montrezl Harrell is interesting. He'll probably bake in another 10 minutes for him, if not more. He's averaging 1.2 fantasy points per minute. Kyle Kuzma, well, I cannot quit you. Never know how the Kuzma play is going to go. You really don't. But he often draws high ownership without AD. Averaging a fantasy point per minute with LeBron on, AD off. So if we got 25 plus minutes of him, sure, go for it. And then Dennis Schroeder, a 1.1 fantasy point per minute, but just a 21% usage rate. So plenty of ways to spin the wheel on the Lakers. On the OKC side, SGA 8.4K, 8K on DraftKings. I got him a little over 40 fantasy points. I actually haven't projected to be a solid play, but no one's going to play him because of all the competition in the guard spot tonight. Maybe that would be a curious case. We saw Josh Jackson do just fine. He would be a thrilling tournament play. And then the rest of the OKC roster, you're not really getting to them. Raj, late night hammer, who are you extracting from this game to send you home to end the slate?
I mean, LeBron, I want to make a tier 1, but like trying to play him with Bradley Beal and Levine on DraftKings, it's just so tight. You're going to have to play some scrubby scrubs. It'll be hard to get in. Or Cousins with them too, so I mean, he should be a tier 1. Does he get there? I mean, I think the field likes Beal and Levine more. LeBron could easily be the highest score on the slate. Again, him, no AD. He should be able to destroy this OKC team. Triple-double spot. With it, I just got to figure out what ownership and what pieces to kind of fit around him.
And he's another guy, right? If you're going to have a high priority on LeBron, that can only take away from Booker. Maybe, I don't know, Booker.
I mean, yeah, see, playing him with Booker is a lot easier than the Beal and Levine prices.
True.
I will say that.
True. All right. Let's pull up Stat Muse. Chat, hit me with any final questions, comments, concerns. Raj, you still got to get out of here or what?
No, I'm actually good.
LeBron James DKP by game log without Anthony Davis. Last 10 games. Stat. We typing out here, y'all. We typing. 50, 45, 37, 26, 75. Hey, LeBron's not as much of a lock as you might think here without AD. 26 minutes against Minnesota. I'm guessing that game got out of control. All right, so I guess in games where you had to get 35 minutes out of them, sure. It is a 10-point spread, like we said. But so was the Pistons game. Wait, was AD out that Pistons game? Or did I type that wrong? AD against
I don't think so.
No, he played 45 minutes. Why did Detroit just show up? This is just straight up there. Yeah, I don't know. That's from January. Oh, that's from the 28th. That's the last Pistons game. Okay, that makes sense. That was on a back-to-back. I think they played Boston the first night and then went to Detroit.
Yeah.
Okay. My brain. You're like a beautiful mind. So yeah, if your average range of outcome for LeBron here is what, 60 fantasy points, hopefully 50. Yep. Sure, go for it. So many different ways to play this slate. It's gonna be fun. Chat. What do we got here before we get out of here? I'm hungry. I'm starving. The mask. Yes, the mask. PARTY. Because I gotta. G-Man, just glad Andy Reid lost because he didn't get no rings for my Eagles. Ooh. And I'm from Florida, so good to see Florida team win. All right. The Earth Rams. Ever seen that skit? Conan O'Brien back in the day? It was basically the concept of the skit was the Rams versus the Patriots, and it was like the Patriots are from New England, which is not one city; it's a whole area. So to fire back, the St. Louis Rams became the Earth Rams, and then he put like clips of like I don't know Indian people talking, and you could understand them, but it had like subtitles. It's like I don't really watch football, but I guess since they're from Earth, I'll root from the Rams, the Earth Rams.
I'm with it.
Anyway, what else we got here in chat? Let's get caught up. Sucks the Rays lost, but I knew. Yeah, no, we don't feel.
But that game came down to the injuries on the offensive line. Like Mahomes had no time to throw. He was running on. He was the most pressured quarterback in the history of the Super Bowl.
Dude, there were some plays where Mahomes was going full Madden.
He was stupid. Yeah.
But like he would put the ball where it needed to be, and it was just dinking off of helmets, man. It was
like in some ways he did some like more amazing stuff, but the pressure that was getting to him was nuts. Like the things he was able to do. But when you have no offensive line, it doesn't matter who you are.
Dad said you figure Jokic will want to show up on Greek. Yeah, there's definitely some MVP narrative between Giannis versus Jokic. Definitely think Jokic. That's a showcase game. You're going against a real team. They want to be a contender in the West. The Nuggets. They're going to go against probably the team to beat out of the East. I know there's a lot of hype on the Nets, but I haven't seen it just yet. My man, where it sucks playing against the Lakers. Plentiful minutes for Horford and Bazley. There are, but the matchup's not great. Great filibuster. What's up, Dort? Sneaky play. Spreads the floor. No, I don't think I can land on Dort. 4-5. This Patrick Williams. This Denzel Valentine. But I get it. I think LeBron is a big game in honor of Tom Brady. Let's go solo. LeBron and Luka on
GOAT game. I like that narrative coming out of Super Bowl, seeing what Tom Brady did. I like that narrative.
it. It's going to have a 12-12-12. Chat, twitter.com/Gundacker. Hit me up. My DMs are open. If you have questions, you can always tweet at me. Tomorrow's slate, what are we looking at? Tuesday is usually slow, right? Tuesday is a 2, 4, 6, 7 game slate on a Tuesday? What did we do to deserve this? Nets at the Pistons. I think KD's still out, right? Knicks at the Heat. I don't know. I don't think Derrick Rose will make his debut there, but yeah. Rockets at the Pelicans. Interesting. We'll probably get something like Depot out that game and Wall in. Warriors at the Spurs. They're gonna run it back again tomorrow. Sixers at the Kings. Joel Embiid. Okay. Celtics at the Jazz. Ew. And the Magic at the Trailblazers. So a couple of fun matchups tomorrow. And I like the 6 to 8 gamers. Wednesday, we're looking at another solid slate. We got a 5 game on Thursday. Do we have playable solid slates all week? Let's go. Silver, let's go.
Looks like it.
As a Bucks fan, I could say we are not the team to beat in the East. I definitely think the Bucks are the team to beat. Like, I know that the Nets will probably be the team eventually. But the Bucks, man, I think
Bucks have looked good. I think Jrue Holiday is really getting better as the season goes on, figuring out his role. I think the Bucks are a real good challenge to the Nets.
Absolutely. Dez says, and they're probably the only team in the league that really, when the Nets get when that diesel engine gets going defensively, the Bucks might be the only team that have the length and the defensive prowess to.
I don't know if the Nets have the pieces to play good defense.
They don't. But when they get Iman Shumpert where he needs to be, if you listen to the Brooklyn fans, or when they trade for Andre Drummond,
the latest rumor is Drummond to the Raptors.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm there's no way Drummond went to the Nets, but I'm just saying, like, Nets fans are that delirium right now. Great filibuster. I like Williams tonight too. Yeah, love. What's up, Darren P, Dez, Nas Reed, or Thad Young? Who would you go with, sir? Ooh, probably Thad Young, but that's really a coin flip. Centers have been destroying the Mavs, so I wouldn't think you're crazy to go either way on that one. But I think
I get the Denzel Valentine play too, but have some Garrett Temple if you're going to play a lot of Denzel. Like, Denzel's not going to be a consistent 20-point a game guy.
I think you're sleeping on Denzel. Oh, you motherfucker. If you fade Denzel.
I'm not fading Denzel.
He'll have you playing GPP basketball in Quarter Arcade Bay. Chat, I got to get out of here. I'm hungry. But I appreciate you guys hanging with me live tonight, as always, or today. I'll be in the RunDFS.com VIP Discord in a bit. There's my cat Dante. He says hi, everybody. We'll be in the voice chat. Come hang out with us. I'll see you guys tomorrow right here. Let's shoot for. Can we do 4 p.m. Eastern and 3 p.m. Central? Is that 6 game? We could probably knock that out. I don't know. Maybe we go with the 3:30. I don't know, chat. You let me know. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll be in the voice chat. You guys come hang out. I love you guys. I hope you guys crush it tonight. Good luck. God bless. And go win some money.